I've come across something here that I think is of interest. Here it is, January 22nd, 2022. And here in northern Michigan, we got snow coming down, and it's like 20 out, so it's not terribly cold today. But I'm just finally getting outside. I had some things to do in the house this morning, and I come out to the barn. This is where we milk. This is the milking area, right? Here's the stanchion where the cow stands. And in the wintertime, I water right here with just that 275-gallon tote. They're really inexpensive. I didn't pay anything for this one, and I just cut it off and made a watering system out of it. And a couple things have happened, and believe it or not, people have asked me about this. And I came out this morning, and it was full. And I thought, wow, why are the cows not drinking the water? They go through the majority of that daily. And right now, I don't have water up here. I pull a hose out of the butcher shop every day, fill their water while I'm milking, and then pull it back in. I plan to ditch in a line up here and have a frost-free hydrant, but I'm perplexed why they didn't drink out of this. So then I came out and I looked at it, and look at the color of it. Yeah, so what's happened, if you look all around it, when you have a big crowd of cows in here, and there's 14 of them now, they'll come in and they'll be standing around in here, and a cow's rear end is up about this high. It's up about that high, and if they're backed up to there, they'll let one go right in there, and that's what's happened. At least one. Let me turn this around so you can see the color of this. Okay, that's pretty bad. Now, when it was full of water, up on top it was quite clear. But then we got down in there. So this hose that I have right here is actually, that's my siphon. So I'm siphoning it out. And as I get to the bottom here, I'm within a couple inches, I'll start to suck out as much of the green stuff as I can. And then I will get in there and clean it out with a rag as good as I can. It's definitely frozen to the ground, so I'm not going to get it out of there until it's much warmer than this. We're at the coldest point of the winter right now. Another thing that happened was, you see that wire right there? That is the heater. And it's a thermostatically controlled deal. And it sits right on the bottom. So I'm going to clean that out too as well. But you can see the element, and it's protected pretty well by this cage that's around it. But it gets pretty hot. It's thermostatically controlled, so when the water is warmed up, it'll shut it down. But you bring it out into the cold air, and it really turns on. So I'm going to unplug that, because I won't need it for a little while, and then I'll fill it back up. But what I wanted to say, this is something to tuck in the back of your mind. You can see that I have that cord to it. I have it zip tied on there, and then I zip tied it on the gate as well. Because what happened is we have to have an extension cord to plug it in right there, right behind the fencer it plugs in. And so I have a short extension cord to it, and the cows pulled it in. And the extension cord where it plugs into the heater was in the water. And I noticed, hey, these cows are not drinking this water. I wonder what's going on. Well, when you have an extension cord directly in the water, that's going to be something that's going to give them a little jolt. And you really have to watch out for that in cow taken care of mode. They're real sensitive to electricity, what's called stray voltage. So anytime there's something like that that goes on, you gotta really pay attention to it. But I noticed something else. The cows didn't get any water yesterday. Here's where they go out to their little playground. And they're all down there in the corner, and some of them are still doing it, but they're licking snow. So that's their backup plan. If I don't provide them with what they need, they will lick snow. They will eat snow. That brings up another frequently asked questions that, well, if they'll eat snow, then why do you give them water? Well, 4 of those animals out there, and maybe 5, are going to be moms. And so I don't want them struggling for moisture. And they are milk cows, so they're giving me, 5 gallons of milk a day. So it requires quite a bit of water for them to produce that. I don't want them to have to struggle to get that. If times are tough, you can eat snow. But something's going on here. Now it's real dark. Anyway, I'm just getting ready to be done anyway. But you do definitely want to provide your cattle with fresh water and relatively warm water. You don't want to give them freezing cold water if you can help it. That's not always doable, but the more you can do to make their lifestyle cush, the better, because they are bougie. Anyone can farm.